Before I attended this class, I was watching a video.
How are you doing today? I'm fine. What about you?
Yes, I'm also doing great.
So, what are you up to? Weekend.
Yes, so I was studying. I mean, as I'm going to appear for UGC NET, so I was studying.
Okay. Oh, you mean on Academy or Byju's? I think
Yes,
you
yes,
were
it's
you mentioned
Byju's,
Byju's, right?
Byju's.
Yeah. So, how's that going?
Yes, so currently I'm studying research aptitude.
Okay.
Mm, interesting
So,
topic.
hmm. So, like, have you started researching on something?
No, not actually. It's about research methodology, not methodology, research aptitude. I mean, how researchers do their research in a systematic manner, systematic way, like choosing their topic, identifying the problem, then collecting data, the methods of collecting data, various
Hmm.
those technicalities that are involved in research.
Okay. So, what subject would you research on? Any idea?
Actually, I just inquired. I mean, there is a friend of mine who is doing his PhD at NIT Goa in
Okay.
economics. So basically, he appeared for UGC NET in 2021, and he
Hmm.
got he cleared that examination. He qualified with JRF. So he
Okay.
qualified NET as well as he got JRF, Junior Research Fellowship.
Wow.
So as a result,
Hmm.
he will be getting a scholarship from University Grant Commission monthly, and so
Hmm.
he's doing full-time PhD at NIT Goa, and
Hmm.
so that's why there is a department of English over there as well. So I
Really?
asked him, could you ask the head of the department whether this particular topic that I would like to do research in is available or not. So my interest area is film and literature, the comparative study.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, so I asked, but unfortunately, that this subject is not available. He
Hmm.
shared the subjects that are available. I mean, topics or areas that are available for literature researchers. So the areas are like eco-criticism,
Hmm.
poetry. So
Hmm.
such topics are there.
Right. Okay. Hmm. So your field of interest is comparative studies, right? Comparative.
Yes, yes, comparative. Even I would go with comparative literature as well. I mean,
Comparative literature.
literature of
Hmm.
India, Asian literature, and Western literature, European literature. So
Okay. So
I
what
would love
exactly
to.
do you do for in comparative literature?
Sorry.
What exactly do you do in comparative literature?
Yes, I mean, I haven't. I mean, read about it more, but yes, I know a little bit of what comparative analysis or comparative literature is all about.
Hmm.
So whenever you read literature of India or literature of Asia, and at the same time you read literature of European writers, or overall Western or American literature, you're trying to find the similarities, or the forms, and
Hmm.
then after Goethe, the German writer,
Hmm.
coined that term called world literature back then.
Hmm.
Uh, the people started comparing, various forms. Even the movement Imagism, uh,
Hmm.
the famous proponents of Imagism like Ezra Pound, were inspired
Hmm.
from Japanese haiku. So
Okay.
Japanese haiku played a vital role in triggering that movement called Imagism. So that's how people, critics who study comparative literature, uh,
Hmm.
study such things.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
I also found, I mean, yes, a few days ago, I had made one video and shared it on WhatsApp. So it was about there is a poet from Maharashtra. You might have heard about him, Tukaram. He was a
Yeah. Yeah.
saint.
Yeah.
Tukaram. So
Mm,
uh, he is also always associated with Warkari Sampradaya here in
mm.
Maharashtra. So
Okay.
all the devotees of Lord Vittal. Have you heard
No.
about him?
No. No.
You can call him the avatar of Lord Krishna,
Oh.
Rukmini,
Okay.
Rukmini, Lord
Mm-hmm.
Krishna,
Mm-hmm.
Vittal. Yes. So
Oh.
yes, yes. So I was reading his poetry. There is a collection of his Abhanga, his poetry called Abhanga.
Abhang.
So
Mm.
yes, so there is one Abhanga, let's say a
Okay.
poem in his collection. In that poem, in that particular poem, he says that if you call your daddy as uncle or anything else, then
Okay.
the love, the bond that you share with your father, the bond that you share with each other will not change. You
Mm.
whether you call your father as dad or as uncle, it doesn't matter.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So the same thing is said by William Shakespeare in Romeo and Juliet, wherein in that particular play he says, what is in the name, the famous dialogue, what is in the name that we should call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
same thing, and Shakespeare and Tukaram were contemporaries. So
Okay.
yes, yes, both were born in the same era. That was in, I think, 17th century.
I see.
Mm. So contemporaries, and you cannot blame either of them, because Shakespeare might have what we can say, Wangmai Chaurya, we call it in Marathi and Sanskrit literature. Uh, Wangmai Chaurya means stealing the copyright issue and all. So you cannot blame either of them, because Shakespeare wasn't aware of Marathi language, and he was not able to read Marathi. Neither
Mm.
nor Tukaram, nor was Tukaram. Able to
Reader of Shakespeare.
read
Yeah.
English language.
Right.
So so this is the universality of literature.
Yes.
And I
So
found
forms. Right. So we're
yes,
talking
yes,
about
yes,
forms.
yes, yes,
Universality of
forms
forms.
as well as
Okay.
content is also universal. Uh,
Mm.
so there is one more Marathi poet named Mangesh Padgaonkar. He used to say that great
Mm-hmm.
people think alike. So
Okay.
two different people from two different countries say the same thing.
Mm. Right.
So I also found such connections with respect to, in other writers as well. So, I
Mm.
think I told you about GB Shaw. There is one beautiful quote in GB Shaw's Pygmalion. He says that
Mm-hmm.
the difference between a girl, the difference between a lady and a flower girl, the difference between a lady
Mm-hmm.
and a flower girl is not how she behaves, but how she is
Yeah.
treated.
Right.
And the same thing is said by Bhalchandra Nemade, who was awarded,
Okay.
who received Gyanpit Award in 2013 for his novel Hindu.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Hindu. So in that particular novel, he says, जोपर्यंत हिनवणारा नसतो तोपर्यंत हिनपण नसतं. So the translation is the same. Unless and until there is someone who can discriminate, there is no discrimination. Discrimination doesn't exist.
Okay.
So this is a let's say
Mm-hmm.
literal translation of the quote I just mentioned in Marathi.
Interesting. Mm.
Mm.
So yeah, I was wondering about. So when you were talking about this, this word came in my mind. Have you heard of this term called Zeitgeist?
Zai,
Zeitgeist.
could you put it in the chat
Zeitgeist.
box?
Sure, sure. It's Zeitgeist. Zeitgeist. So
Okay.
zeitgeist basically means the spirit of the times. Okay.
Sorry,
So I mean,
spirit of the time.
yes, spirit of the times. So for
Oh.
example, I mean, it's just the actual dictionary definition is the defining spirit or mood of a particular period of history as shown
Hmm.
by the ideas and beliefs of the time. Right. So I was thinking, like how some ideas are born.
Hmm.
Right. When some ideas are born, they metamorphosize. Right. In different forms. Right. And then they also get distributed uh, like throughout the world.
Right, right,
So
right.
I mean, so how I don't know like what example to give you, but I'm not really much of an art critic, right, or a literature
Mm-hmm.
critic or something. So I mean, I wish I were, to give a give an appropriate
We can
example.
apply this what apply this terminology to the invention of zero as well. I think
Okay. Oh.
how the concept of zero was spread across the world. I think
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
right through
mm-hmm.
Arabian people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
So
think
it was
yes,
born in
Arabian
India.
people.
So it was probably
Hmm.
born in India, and then like Indians invented zero, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, and then probably it traveled to the Middle East,
So
right? And then from the
yes,
Middle East to the rest of
Europe.
Europe. Yeah.
So can this terminology be applied here
Could
in case
be.
of
Yeah,
zero?
yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I guess a lot of societies adapt some idea, right, in their own ways. So when an
Hmm.
idea is born, it gets adapted in various ways by different societies. And then, you see a theme spread throughout the world. You see a particular theme spread throughout the world when you look at an epoch or an era, right?
Hmm.
So that's what this means, zeitgeist, the spirit of times. So
I
the
think
defining spirit or mood.
this
Yeah,
terminology must be a part of my syllabus as well, but I haven't come across it yet.
right. Okay, yeah.
Hmm.
So when it comes to Renaissance, right, the period of Renaissance, back then, the mood of the times was rationality, right?
Yes, yes.
So rational thinking, questioning everything. So rationality was like the zeitgeist of that period, you could say.
Zeitgeist.
Right.
Okay.
And then it spread like wildfire, right? Revolutions
Hmm.
were happening, right, around the world. So in that sense, so maybe you could kind of compare that concept, what you were talking about, right?
Yes,
Like
yes, yes.
Shakespeare and Tukaram had similar
Hmm.
ideas.
Right,
Maybe,
right.
yeah. I mean, contemporaries being contemporaries make sense, right? Maybe
Yes, yes.
they might have come across or maybe derived inspiration from
Hmm. Each
something,
other.
some derivative ideas from some
Yes, yes,
other
yes.
parent idea. I'm
Exactly,
saying,
exactly.
yeah.
And we don't even know the history of mankind properly, because how people used to connect with each other, two people from two different nations. I mean, how communities used to travel, the sea voyages. So
Hmm.
those things are, we are not aware of, much aware of it. So that's
Right,
the
right.
reason we don't even know how there might have been, there might be the possibility of, multiculturalism at that time even.
Yes, 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 definitely. So I think we had like travelers, right? Travelers visiting kingdoms, right?
Hmm.
Sailors, explorers, traders,
Hmm.
even, right? So traders also, they take away a lot of things. Not take away, I mean, they take them with them, right?
Right, right,
Take
right.
a lot of artifacts with them, and they also take ideas with them, obviously.
Hmm.
So there are also explorers, visiting countries, visiting different countries. So when they get back home, they write about it, and perhaps some intellectuals from their countries and they start reading it. They get inspired by it, and so on.
Hmm.
Right.
Right, right. So I was
So there are.
watching. Yes,
Hmm.
yes,
Yeah, you're saying.
yes. I was, before I attended this class, I was watching a video on the famous food in UK, Britain.
Hmm.
So when I started watching that video, after watching those pictures of recipes and videos, I I wondered how that food will taste like.
Yeah,
Have
I
you
think a lot
tried
of
any Western dish?
Western dishes. Yeah, I mean we do try a lot of Western dishes, right? Like pizzas, burgers. They are
Yes,
imported
yes, those are
taste, right?
famous ones. But
Yeah.
uh,
Aside from that, yeah, like Italian cuisine, like proper Italian cuisine, proper
proper dishes.
English breakfast.
I
Yeah.
think for that we will
Yeah,
have
yeah. I have.
to go to a restaurant, go
Yeah,
to an international restaurant. I think
yeah. I mean,
international
not
restaurant
necessarily.
chain.
There are,
Mm.
yeah, there are restaurants which do provide. But then again, I mean, if you're like a real food auteur, right? You might criticize it. It's not
Yes, yes,
authentic,
yes, yes. Right.
right? I know a lot of food auteurs who do that, right? They say it's not authentic. You have to, if you have to have something authentic, you have to travel to that original country and have it from there.
Mm. Right.
So
So we have another class. I mean, back to back two
right,
classes.
right. Oh yeah, okay.
Mm.
So
What else?